Hey all, Michael from Black Snow Comics here. Today is the end of 4 months. Well, I guess it's the beginning of the 5th month, but 4 months that I've been drawing every day. So it's been my daily drawing challenge for the year of 2019. So still going. Thought I'd do what I've done all the other months, take a look at what I drew, share a little thoughts on the experience and all that. So let's take a look. Started off with a Spider-Man week. Spider-Man's one of my favorites. So I had some fun drawing some of those characters, and I have a lot of requests, so I'll probably end up doing another Spider-Man week pretty soon. Same thing with the Batman week that I did. So here's Jackal. Came out pretty cool. Kind of a lesser known guy, kind of an interesting character. Spider-Ham, and this one I based off of the Spider-Verse movie. Doc Ock here, Dr. Octopus. Spider-Man Noir, one of my favorites, so it was cool to see him represented. And of course, if you want to really look at these, not just see them in a tiny little video thing while I talk about them, you could go to blacksnowcomics.com, and there's a gallery on there. That's what I'm looking at right here. So the Lizard, this one's one that I spent more time on and is a little more complete of a drawing, and you could I like to do that when I can. It just takes more time, but this is more composed than a lot of the other ones. Spider-Gwen, my daughter's favorite. I think she's pretty cool. I like the way this one turned out quite a bit. The whole composition of this one's pretty nice. And then this one came out pretty cool too, Spider-Man 2099. And then I did a Hellboy week, which was fairly popular. Not as popular as the other stuff, but that's to be expected. And that was in anticipation of that Hellboy movie that came out, the reboot. So Rasputin here, I think this one looks pretty cool. I like the way this... And one of the fun challenges with the Hellboy week is, these characters have all been represented by Mike Mignola, but you don't want to really just kind of ape Mike Mignola's style. It's going to look wrong. It's going to look like a bad copy. And he does it in such a way, he works with those abstracts where there's not a lot of details. And if you were to do that, it would just look like his stuff. So this was really a good way to practice drawing something in my own style. How would I draw the characters? So here's Liz Sherman. And then Hellboy, I wanted to do this for my day 100 and make it something kind of special. It looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. I don't remember how you say his name, but he's the pig monster guy. He's in the movie. He's somewhat prominent in the comics, one of the returning guys. Lobster Johnson, was a nice surprise to see him make a small appearance in the movie. He's pretty cool. I've always liked any of those heroes that are set kind of in World War II fighting Nazis and stuff. I like. It's fun. Abe Sapien, pretty cool one underwater. It's cool with some of these things, just adding the different shades of blue and a few bubbles right away. You got the whole underwater setting. It feels almost like a complete picture. And then I really like the way Roger came out. Roger the Homunculus. He's actually another one of my favorite characters in the comics, and he's not been really represented in any of the movies or animations or anything, so thought I'd give him a little love here. And then this is Pitt from Image Comics, one of the original Image comics. I don't really know a lot about Pitt, but it was around the same time in the 90s where stuff like the Max and Spawn and stuff was big. So it's in that kind of vein. And then this Stewie Griffin, someone requested, and I didn't want to just draw Stewie Griffin. I mean, I could probably draw pretty close to exactly how he normally looks, but I wanted to kind of just mess with things. If I'm going to draw it, I might as well try drawing it in a way that I want that differentiates it. That's something I've been working on more. So the way this one turned out kind of cracks me up, and my wife thought it was really creepy looking. My kids thought it was really weird. And it is kind of weird. Kind of reminds me of a Cabbage Patch Kids doll or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. Like, he's got extra shading and extra detail work that kind of makes him look a little odd. And then, yeah, it's just, I like it. Check it out. Along the same lines, I did a Homer Simpson. And I tried playing around with this one more, where I was giving him like a different style nose or trying different hairstyles. But once you do that a little too much, then it doesn't really look like the character. So instead, I wanted it to be instantly recognizable, but still have kind of my own stamp on it. And then this is McCree from Overwatch, someone wanted. And I was pretty happy with this one. I like cowboy stuff a lot, as you know if you follow my comics. So it's fun to draw kind of cowboy with this cybernetic arm. I don't know much about it. I don't play that game. And then Ghost Rider, very big in the 90s. I don't know. It's a cool looking character. Be cool for like a nice tattoo or something. I don't know, very 90s though. Doesn't seem... I don't see like the huge appeal of him besides like his look. Then this Superman, I made this for my wife's uncle, who requested it a few times, and he's had a little hard time with some surgery and stuff, so I thought this would be nice. He seemed to really appreciate it. Didn't really love the way it turned out though, I don't know. Definitely looks like something I drew though, so I guess there's that. But if I did it again, I would try doing some different things. I don't know. I wasn't totally happy with it. Oh, and this one got on here twice. Oops, I gotta fix that. But this was from Vampire Knight. I forgot the character's name. I never seen the anime or anything. But did not like the way this one came out at all. I don't know. I've never been good with anime stuff or manga stuff, so that trend continues. Thanos, I was really excited for Avengers, just like everyone else, so I wanted to do a Thanos, and I did kind of a old school comic version of Thanos. I even tried to do the Kirby crackle in the background, which I really like, and it looks pretty cool. I like the way this one turned out. Then Black Panther, my son said I did too much blue, but I like it. You need the highlights, otherwise it's just all black. And I mean, you could highlight it in silver or white, but I always like that black and blue combo. I think it looks cool. Very comic-y. And then Captain America. I didn't put the star on his chest, and I went back and forth on it a little, and also kind of forgot, if I'm being totally honest, but I like the way it turned out anyway. This is a pretty good one. And this is when I was really working on making sure I was drawing things in a way that wasn't just what you've already seen, and I'm not just looking. One thing I tried to do this month, especially towards the end, is not just work from reference. I felt like I was getting a little too dependent on reference photos and things like that, or other people's reference drawings, and yeah, that's a skill and it's a good thing to have, and I'm pretty good at it, I think, but it takes a whole nother skill and creativity to draw what's in your mind, and that's something, especially if you're doing comic books and you're coming up with your own stories and you need to tell the story. There's not always going to be a reference for what you want to show, so that's something I've been working on more. So this kind of represents that more, where I'm going for my style and just coming up with my own poses and things, just getting a general idea. I want you to know who the character is, but you know. So here's Loki, same thing. And one of the things I've been playing with more is a mix of more cartoonish mixed with the graphic. So that's definitely represented here. And kind of like the chin and everything. I don't know, I really like it. I think it's cool. And then this is a request for All Might from My Hero Academia, which I've never seen, but the character looked fun. And I went back and forth, and I actually tried drawing this before, but it was not turning out well, and then I didn't have like a lot of time, so then I just drew something else that day and came back to it a week or two later. And one of the things I went back and forth on, like, he's a big muscular guy. Do I want to draw the whole thing where he's posing and stuff, which a lot of the reference stuff shows him like that? But I don't know, I felt like just doing the face and just focusing on kind of the bust area for a while on a few things to really work on that detail work. And then I did Iron Man. My son asked me to draw Iron Man, and he wanted me to do the whole body, and I want to do him flying if I'm going to do the whole body. He told me he doesn't like when I just draw the bust area, so he wants to see the whole thing in action, which of course takes me a lot longer. This one, same thing, like I didn't go for any one reference on it. I just picked what was in my mind's eye of how he flies and drew it. I mean, and I tried to do a little bit with perspective on it and things like that. And I think it's pretty successful. But I'm just glad that I'm working on stuff like that and kind of honing my skills a little more. So that's what I drew for the month. So now we're a third of the way through the year, and it's going pretty well. This month, I think more than other months, I did have days where I didn't want to draw, or I tried to pick something that was a little easier to draw because I didn't want to take a long time. So hopefully that's not going to be recurring. Hopefully I'll get back into it a little more and all that. As far as Avengers, I think I'll do a separate video where I review the movie and kind of talk about that in detail. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for that. I guess there's not too much else to say. It was another positive month. I did get down on myself a little bit, like I was saying, I didn't really like a couple of them, the way they turned out, and I started to kind of feel a little down on my skills and like why I was doing this, what I was doing. So a little bit of doubt crept in my mind, but I just pushed through it. I'm feeling good about it now, so I guess that's what counts. All right, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone who keeps requesting things. Thank you for everyone who keeps thumbing them up or whatever, giving them hearts, whatever you do. But it's nice that people are appreciating them, and I know people are out there paying attention to it, so that's cool. All right, well, I guess that's it. Peace.